One of our brokers recently left some fantastic feedback on our broker survey, so our very own Danielle Walters, our South East Relationship Manager, chatted to him to find out more.
Hi Jonathan.
Hello.
Thanks for coming to Aldermore and allowing us to take some feedback off of you with regards to a recent case that you submitted. Just wonder if you can tell us a little bit more about that case, why you come to Aldermore in the first place with it.
It's the typical sort of case that I come to you guys with. It was someone that had some issues in the past, so I couldn't chase the best rates. But it wasn't an awful case. It wasn't a lost case scenario. And I felt that it was the case that you would consider because I had a reasonable deposit, I had reasonable income streams, and I just thought it was a case that I would put to you, and you were the first guys I went to.
Fantastic. What 3 words would come to mind when you're thinking about Aldermore?
Flexibility, obviously, being able to consider this type of case. In this case, determination, because the underwriter I dealt with was excellent and she was determined to get the case through where she could.
Oh, fantastic.
That too.
So you were able to have that communication with her and, try and get the case through as quick
The
as
underwriter was brilliant. I use a power planner, so she did a lot of the day-to-day contact with the underwriter, but when I initially submitted the case through, I had some technical problems because my logins weren't working, and someone was very helpful there and sorted that out for me. It took me about a day and a half to get the case submitted because I wasn't very good at that, but eventually it got through. There was some user error in doing so, but I know that we had a lot of toing and froing with bank statements because of his self-employed income during coronavirus. You guys were wanting to ascertain that his income was steady and continuing, which it was. But like a lot of self-employed people, he had all his banking running through one bank account. So we had personal and business banking were running through one bank account, which really complicated things. So we had to get bank statements. We had to highlight out the separate areas. But the underwriter was brilliant. She just really got hold of the case and really pushed it through.
Fantastic. So sort of backing you up as the broker to try and get the case through to completion as quick as possible.
Yeah, I felt that she was on our side and that's the other word, empathize. She was empathizing with the case. She could see that it needed to be offered or should be offered, and she did everything in her remit to make that happen. And that's not always the case with lenders these days.
That's brilliant. So we've got determination in there, flexibility, and the last one that you said,
empathy.
And obviously, tell me why you would recommend Aldermore going forwards. I guess a lot of what you've just said will come into play to that.
Yeah, it's a lot of what you just said. Some of it's down to criteria. Your criteria is flexible enough to allow the case. Your criteria allowed for a more generous lending on a 5-year fixed rate, which suited the customer. Yes, the rate wasn't class leading. We wouldn't expect it to, but it was good. It was fine. It was 3 point something, and the payments were affordable, and the clients were happy with it. And if all my cases were treated in this way, and if I could specify they go to the same underwriter, I'd gladly give you all of my challenging cases, no problem at all.
I'll see what I can do. I can't make any promises.
I've just had an email. I think I had an email from you guys yesterday confirming the completion date. And when I got that email, that's a real, it sounds a bit cheesy, but that's part of the reason you do the job. And the client's already emailed us and said thank you so much. So you get a small buzz out of doing cases like that where there's a positive outcome for the customer, and you and the lender have done a good job.